Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Saloon Podcast. I'm your host, Mirage, and I'm going to be joined by not only my special and awesome co-host, Burner slash
Yo,
Coma.
yo, everybody, how's it
Um,
going?
I'm joined by another special guest who might show up in later episodes. Who knows? Depends on what we end up covering. He's going to definitely end up showing up in the next episode, since this is a duology here. I welcome Mellow Sony.
Hello. Pleasure to be here. Yeah, my name is Mello Sony. Well, probably none of you knew that because I'm first time here, but I'm happy to be here and can't wait to get started.
Yep.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So,
On today's episode, we're going to be covering Donkey Kong Country Returns, and we're also going to be covering Tropical Freeze later on, but we're here to specifically cover Returns.
so
So,
Donkey Kong Country Returns, the gem from 2011, I think, was
and you're
2010.
close.
10. I already messed up, but this gem
Fine.
on the Wii was an effort by Retro Studios, who many of you would know would work on Metroid Prime. And
I thought.
Metroid Prime 4. but yeah, they made a Donkey Kong game, and he actually made the next one too. But we're here talking about Returns and how it was kind of a big deal for Donkey Kong at the time, and it's still a great game in its own right. So there you go.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
there are a lot of changes between Donkey Kong Country Returns and the original three titles. But first off, we're going to go over the story, then we'll be covering the gameplay, then the bonus ninth world, along with the changes that they made to it from the Wii to the 3DS, and the Easter eggs and beta content. But we're going to be covering the story first. So, regarding its story, it's actually kind of like the original Donkey Kong, but there's much more context to it this time around that gives the antagonist an incentive to go after the bananas, whereas with King K. Rool, he kind of just the only conclusion that you could really come to with him is that, oh, he's just getting the bananas just to spite Donkey Kong, even though he
Yeah.
hates getting bananas for some reason.
Yeah. It was later on mentioned that people in Rare said that he hated bananas. King Kiro hated bananas, so it's like, why did he take them? Out of spite? Did he need them to to do something with them? Did he just wanted to throw them in the ocean, kind of like the Boston Tea Party? We don't know.
Yeah, none of us really know. But the Tikis here, these are that's the name of the antagonist, along with Tiki Tong, the fearless leader, actually has an incentive to go after the bananas this time, and
Mhm.
that being to not only create more goons for the Tikis to, aid them in their attempt to enslave the island and hypnotize um all of the animals on it. And I think DK Island. I think this takes place on DK Island, right?
Yes, it takes
Yeah.
place on DK Island.
Okay, good. All right. I'm not stupid. So
Crazy.
yeah, their intention is to enslave all of the animals on DK Island and make more goons to assist them in their attempt to enslave all the animals on DK Island. And not only that, Tiki Tong also uses the bananas, and near the end of the game he spins around, blends the bananas together, makes this yellow, orangish banana goop. Uh, you know, um, just drops it on the tikis and makes two giant fists out of them and becomes bigger. It's kind of cool actually if you see it. But yeah, those are actually Tiki Tong's incentive for going after the bananas, which is great. It actually gives the player more of a reason to like go after this guy instead of, oh yeah, he's just getting the bananas for spite. Go get him. It's kind of stupid with EKC1. I don't understand it, but
I
you
mean,
know,
As
I
cool.
mean,
Yes, Mel?
sorry, as I was saying, I mean, to its detriment from the first game, it was made in the 90s, and 90s, you did not really need a story in order to play the game.
good point. Good point.
And as
It's excusable.
Mhm.
as cool as K. K. Rool is, he didn't really get his status as popular game villain until the second game, I think. So
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I think that's enough of the plot because we pretty much covered anything. There's literally next to nothing to cover, but we're going to be discussing the gameplay now because there's a lot of changes with the gameplay, so much so that it's actually very, very hefty.
Mhm.
So,
lots of stuff to talk about with this.
yeah. So, regarding the gameplay, oh my lord, there's so much. First off, we have the inclusion of two more hits for both characters. As
Oh.
on the top left of the screen, you'll see um, a heart counter that both Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong have respectively. So if you add them up, since they both have two hearts, you'll get a grand total of 4 hearts. So you have 4 hits before you actually end up dying, which
Which
is great. It makes things so much easier.
Yes, and in this game, you need them.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
You need
you'll
every
need
single one of those hits. You
yeah,
need
yes,
them for the life.
cause,
indeed.
and reason why this is so impactful and why we think this is a good improvement for returns in particular, as well as Tropical Freeze, but because in the original games each Kong was only one hit. If you take a hit when you don't have your buddy, you die. So, and I think
Exactly.
it worked well within the limitations of the Super Nintendo games, but I think since everything is bigger and grander in Returns and also Tropical Freeze, personally I feel like this is a welcome addition. It makes things easier for newcomers, but also gives but also if you do want to like have that challenge where you don't take a hit, it's nice. I like this.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very, very nice change.
Mhm.
Not only that, we also have what else? We also have Cranky running a shop this time. It's not just, oh yeah, Cranky's there to give you hints for things like the Kong letters and balloons and stuff and the
And
trees.
giving you abuse in the process.
Oh yeah. Cranky Kong is actually, like I said, a shop owner this time. He has a bunch of different items that you can choose in the shop. He also is he's also the guy where you get the key from for the extra stages if you want to get them. So that's a really nice change. Because there's probably a lot that you're gonna want to get and stuff to prevent yourself from dying, and there's a good chunk of items that will help you along the way, such as
Mhm.
the golden what is it, like the golden banana potion or whatever it's called.
Yeah, golden banana potion, which makes you invincible.
Yep, there's that. I think I think there's also another like potion that gives you like,
More hearts.
yeah, that's right. And then you also have Squawks, who helps out with giving you puzzle pieces. Like he scouts out the level for puzzle pieces.
Barzol.
Um, so I think his name's Squawks, right?
Yes,
Yes, his name
Fox.
is Fox.
Okay, yeah. He helps scout out the level for puzzle pieces, which will actually unlock things like concept art and other things that didn't quite make into the final game for returns. So
Yeah,
yeah, there's that.
and
Mhm.
again, like everything in the shop, like it just goes back to what I was saying before. It makes things easier for newcomers, but if you're a pro and you're a veteran, you don't even have to bother with this stuff. Like you can go for every collectible in the levels without even going to see Cranky at all. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Not only that, in this game, you can also play as DK and Diddy at the same time. They're not
Mhm.
restricted to being one playable character, and you don't swap between the two. You can play as them at the same time. Not
Yes.
only, and on top of it, you can also. There are also other minor changes, like the fact that Donkey Kong doesn't seem to be as slow this time around. He seems to be much more mobile in this game. Uh, like
especially
he
with
can
Diddy.
actually, yeah, he is a significant. He has like a significantly larger amount of mobility. He's not like
Yes.
hindered in any way, shape, or form. He's got like a
Mm.
serious buff in this
Mhm.
game, which is very much welcomed. Um, so not only that, Diddy can also get on top of Donkey and just use him like how the characters would with a barrel. It's crazy. It kind of reminds me of Sonic in a way with how Sonic charges up a spin dash. I can't stress that enough. It's very much like Sonic in a way,
Yeah,
and that
I can say that it is like that. Or if you want to go to more the DK reference, like a steel keg. Like in the first game, you grab a steel keg, throw it to a wall, jump on the steel keg, and then you kind of roll around like that. It's basically like that, except you have it with the forever, basically.
yeah, and this game you can actually control it as much as you like. You have like complete control
Yeah,
over it. Whereas the steel keg in the original, uh, you could only go forwards, and the only way to stop the steel keg is to jump off of it. It kept going without you if you
you
were to
can.
jump off of
Oh,
it.
you can also press down and try to grab it again. You can do that.
Yeah.
Well, provided if it's not moving, I think, right?
If it's not moving, then yes, you can do that.
Yeah, I
You can
figured.
do it while it's moving, but it's very hard to pull off.
Okay, yeah, I figured. So there are other gameplay changes like that. I'd also like to mention the Kong letters. The Kong letters in
Oh,
the original game. The only reason why you get the Kong letters in the original, like the only incentive you have of collecting those would be for extra lives, which is okay, kind of, but there wasn't much of a purpose that they serve for the player originally. But later on in Returns, they would actually, believe it or not, they unlock new stages, which give you these special magical orb things that you can collect to unlock another new stage and a new world if you're playing the 3DS version, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yes.
But this is great because again, like the Kong letters really had no purpose. They were just kind of there. They were like kind of there just for the sake of being there, just to give the players something else to look and hunt for. It was like, okay, yeah, kind of cool. But in returns, it is great because now it feels much more rewarding to get the Kong letters this time.
mm, mm-hmm.
And
There's like
it's also like an extra collectible that feels impactful to you, aside from the puzzle pieces. I mean, the puzzle
mm,
pieces aren't as impactful, but they
yeah.
feel more impactful than the Kong letters did in the original.
Yeah.
And also replay value is also given because if you miss one, you're like, oh, I can just go and try to get the next one.
Exactly, there's
Like
that
stuff like
too.
that. The one caveat to that, though, at least to me, in terms of that, is that I believe you have to get them all four of them in one sitting because they reset. So you have to get them all four, all over again if you like missed one.
Which is a shame, but it's not that hard to do if you
It's not
remember.
that bad. No,
Yeah,
And
if you remember where to look, they're not that hard to get.
and thankfully they
mm,
don't reset upon dying, so you can go at them
no.
as many times as you want.
Exactly.
Yes.
And aside from that, oh right, right, the bonus stages themselves after collecting all the Kong letters. So after you get all the Kong letters in each stage in each world, you are you are rewarded with an extra an extra I don't know what you call these stages, like
Cave stages.
cave stages. I thought they were more like temple stages.
Well, they're called in the world map. They're called like 1K, but it's like yeah, they are temple stages.
I'll just call them like Kong stages or whatever. That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
So you're rewarded with these Kong stages, and each Kong stage, it's filled with a bunch of trial and error because there's a lot of platforming and stuff that you have to get used to because it's a lot harder than the normal stages themselves. But once you actually beat a Kong stage, you are given a special orb from like an orb that I mentioned from earlier. Um, Now, what do these orbs do? Like I said, they unlock the ninth world, the Golden Temple world. Uh, in the Wii version, you only get to play one stage from the Temple world, which is the last one in the 3DS version. In the 3DS version, you get to play nine of them, right?
You get okay. So in the ninth world, um, you in the ninth world there is one stage for every level. So that means there will be 8 stages of the like as mentioned, like the
Pre-existing
jungle,
worlds.
beach,
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
like
pre-existing
those.
worlds you visited.
16 worlds revisited. They're brand new stages and they're also harder than what you previously encountered before. Like they also like put those gimmicks and put them like to level like 11 basically.
Okay, yeah.
And there's even a minecart stage for the mining level, and that one is honestly the hardest in
Oh,
my
that's
opinion.
cool.
It's one of the
Man,
hardest ones in my opinion as
this
well.
This makes me wish we got the 3DS version, or it makes me wish I got the 3DS version, but it's whatever. But that's actually pretty cool. That's a nice change from the Wii version, because yeah, that's like literally the only reason why you'd get them the Wii version because of an extra level. But there's actually an entirely new world in the 3DS version, which is great. Um,
Right.
aside from that, in terms of extra content, uh, I'll let Mello take this one away because I don't remember. I don't think I've noticed all of like the bonus scrap content and stuff.
Bonus and scrap stuff like Easter eggs, etc.
Yeah.
Like for example, there's a piece of concept art. Oh, and for Donkey Kong Country Return, get the puzzle pieces for those. There's one that specifically that one of the overworlds is based around Super Mario Brothers 2. Um, and if like I believe specifically the overworld is I believe a reference to the first screen of the game of Mario Brothers 2.
Oh.
So, so that one's actually interesting to see in Foggy Fumes, and I believe in like the I think in the silhouette level, you can see Mr. Game and Watches in the background, like hitting with their hammers.
Oh yeah.
And in
That's
the same
right.
level, you can also see a scrolled up version of Super Metroid's boss Craig, I believe. I forget the name, but it's like that big dinosaur.
Oh.
Not Ridley. It's from Super Metroid, so it's the other one. And
Okay.
you also see a part of 25 meters from the original Donkey Kong,
Oh yeah. That's
which is
right.
actually really interesting because like you can tell like the people with this studio, Retro Studios, freaking put like do the research, and it's actually really cool and to seeing like all these things that we're referencing.
Yeah. That's
It,
a
Like
very nice touch.
it
yes,
definitely shows that Retro are very in tune with their fan service, and this is something that we're also going to see in Tropical Freeze as well. So
hmm as
they
well.
they know their stuff. They know their stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's
Um.
some small things like for beta stuff in terms of beta. Like for example, a small one is like the PUD. It was blue. It was once cyan at one point before they changed it to blue. One bigger one though is Donkey Kong's bounce. Whenever you bounce on three enemies, you get in the full game he does a somersault and you also get more height. In the beta version, you
Oh.
do not do that. You get the third bounce and you just get that third bounce. You don't get the extra height and you just not do a flip.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, like you only get you do three bounces, but the third one you don't get any extra height and you don't do a somersault. So it's like just another normal bounce.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of sucky.
And like one thing I also did not like how they changed the first stage of the game. It was in Sunset, and the final it was done. And I actually like what they used for the Sunset palette. Because to
Yeah, that
me,
is
it
kind
was
of a
like
shame.
it's like a lot more vibrant in a way. Because you usually see like in the daytime for DKC in the original when you jungle hijinks in the returns, it's in Sunset, which I felt like that would have been a better touch. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but
stuff happens.
yeah, you win some, you lose some,
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess. But I think regarding returns, that's just about it, maybe? Or is there more?
I mean, there are some more references if you want me to go on.
Sure.
Of course, this was no surprise. The temple theme, the Golden Temple theme, World 9, uh,
Hmm.
the level, is a remix of Donkey Kong Jr.'s theme. The
Oh,
music.
is it?
Yep.
I
It's
did
like
not know that.
it's like do 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 do. That's the theme of Donkey Kong Jr.
They
Oh.
This was the first time since the late '90s that they acknowledged Donkey Kong Jr. as a character.
Oh man, yeah, because they completely forgot about him. Uh,
Mhm.
what else?
Oh, right. It's like um during the K levels, I completely forgot about this. In the K levels specifically when you beat them, instead of seeing stars and bananas, you actually see DK's pixelated face from the arcade game.
Oh,
Like a small little touch there. It's also pretty neat.
Yeah, no kidding. It's actually really cool. Huh. All right. So, did we cover everything then?
I believe so.
I mean, I feel like there's 2 more references if you want me to mention them.
Oh, 2 more references? All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
2 more references. One that's not really a reference. It's more of like they brought it back from DKC3, which is the rocket barrel stages. They originated in DKC3.
Yeah, those were fun. I really liked
Yeah.
those.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
And-
that. That's another new thing that wasn't in. Well, I mean, it wasn't in like the first 2 games, but I guess now that I know it's in the third game.
Yes.
Okay.
And they changed it up significantly because they were horizontal. These ones are DKC3 it was all vertical. In returns, it's both horizontal and vertical.
Yeah.
Sort of like shmup stages, like in things like
Yeah, except you don't shoot, you dodge.
yeah.
Yeah, you mostly dodge.
Like the last reference I do want to mention, which is a lot of people don't really compare it to, is for when you beat the bosses, you do like this beat up like type of position, like these beat up, and where you shake the Wiimote. I feel like it's like a reminiscence of Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, where it's the same thing
Oh
where you beat the
yeah.
bosses as well. Where you beat the
Yeah.
bosses, you also do like these rapid fire punches.
Yeah, that's right. Every time you like beat a boss, there's a little cutscene where you end up giving them a beatdown, which is and the way how you do it is you shake the Wiimote up and down, so it's like a kind of a reference to how you would use like the bongos in Jungle Beat. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's I definitely like Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. I think it's a very underrated game, so that's a nice reference. And I didn't really think of that in both my playthroughs, both my time in Returns into my full playthrough of Tropical Freeze. So there you go.
Yeah, so there's a lot to appreciate here with Donkey Kong Country Returns. But yeah, I think that covers everything, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We
So,
covered a lot, so there you go.
yeah, we covered like everything we could. With that being said, if you all enjoyed this episode of the Saloon Podcast, stay tuned for the Tropical Freeze episode. We'll see you then.
Fare thee well.
Mellow.
Well, I forgot my line. What's my line?
Oscar Minor Wiener.
Thank you. Folks, I clearly knew that line. I clearly knew 100%. No, that a shout out. This is not scripted at all. Okay? Okay, fine. Oscar Minor Wieners. Good night, everybody!